Welcome to the Sports Hangover. I'm Michael Benatar, joined alongside J-Dog.
Mike, it's great to see you again. It's football season. The weather's amazing in LA, and I cannot stop seeing famous people everywhere I go.
You're hitting all the hot spots right now. So that's the issue, right? You're going to Beverly Hills, you're going to Santa Monica, you're seeing them all. LA's
Let's backtrack just a minute. They are full of them, but we don't always see them in our little bubbles that we live in. But Mike, a couple weeks ago, we're at my birthday dinner.
Mhm.
Russell Westbrook, DeAndre Jordan. That was the start of an amazing run that we're on. The following weekend, we're with the mystery athlete we talked about last week's podcast. Incredible party. We got follow-up texts and Instagram messages about who was it, what's going on, what sport does he play. You got to be on the inside to actually know these things. So our listeners might not know the full story. But then this past weekend, Denzel Washington is at happy hour with me, getting into an altercation. I'm just going to TMZ it right here for you, Mike.
Do it.
Getting into an altercation at the Beverly Hills Hotel because they asked him to take his hat off. And the quote from Denzel, it was like a straight scene out of a movie. He goes, "I've been coming here for 50 years. You got 30 seconds to figure it out." It was so good.
It's very Denzel. You're on the hunt, Jeremy.
Yeah,
this is good for you. You know, it's like when I was first in LA, I felt like I saw celebs all the time. Then I stopped going to those places because you get like, I don't need to go there anymore. It's weird that Denzel was just at like a Beverly Hills hotel, just hanging out drinking.
It was like a group dinner. There was like him and his wife and 8 people. It was like a big group. I want to know who the other people were. I didn't recognize them. And it's crazy because on our Cabo trip, the mystery athlete was not Denzel Washington's son, but Denzel Washington's son is an athlete and was on our flight to Cabo, but he was not our mystery.
Yeah, he did not stay at our hotel though. Would have been fun if he was there. I'm pretty sure he didn't stay there.
I think we won. We got the best athlete with us.
Definitely good. All right. So do you want to, I feel like the biggest news of last week, which we recorded our show early last week on a Monday. This is another Monday show. We didn't talk about it, but I feel like the big dick energy of last week and this week is Dave Portnoy and Barstool. I think that's the biggest energy of all. I feel I can't even believe what happened. What a deal. So basically, do you want to break it down or you want me to break it down?
No, go for it. It's amazing.
Dave Portnoy bought back Barstool Sports from Penn. Penn sold off Barstool because it seemed like they were having some issues getting the sports book and regulators behind them because Barstool is Barstool and they're not, I would say they're not very PC.
I think if we can stop there for a moment, I think Penn is blaming Barstool for not having a bigger share. Apparently, Penn has like 3% of the U.S. sportsbook share of money coming into sportsbooks, which you think like there's DraftKings, there's FanDuel. Oh, maybe Penn's in that second tier. They are way below the other two. And so, Barstool Sportsbook, that branding was not helping them at all.
No. So Barstool obviously wasn't a big enough name. Penn went to ESPN. They partnered with ESPN. Now it's going to be ESPN Bet. I don't know if ESPN is actually going to advertise any of this. I don't know if it's kicking off FanDuel.
They'll do a lot. Yeah.
I feel like they paid them like $2 billion to just like use the ESPN name. So I feel like it's going to be pretty big. Bought back the company for $1. Now it seems like there's a deal negotiated that if he ever sells it, Penn will get 50% of the sale of the company, but basically,
and that's why, Mike. But that's why in Dave Portnoy's emergency press conference to announce the news, he said, "I'm never selling it. It's going to Dave's kids. It's going to this guy's kids. It's never selling." And then we found out later, oh, this is why he's never selling. He's keeping it in families forever because if he does sell it, 50% goes back to Penn. So he keeps all of the value of it if it just never sells it at all.
In a way, it almost like even if he did sell it, it's still he made. I don't know what he made. Let's say he made $400 million off this deal, which I don't think he did. Maybe 300, something around that. He made hundreds of millions of dollars off this deal, sold his company, and then got it back for $1. It's kind of crazy. And I don't know what he's going to do, if he's going to change anything. It definitely didn't seem like he was on like, hey, I'm sitting back and doing nothing. Because he's doing podcasts and still eating pizza every single day. He's doing Pizza Fest, doing all this stuff. I think it's great. I think what a hustle. And now Barstool's independent. Now they can do whatever they want because they don't have corporate overlords.
One thing we're saying is Dave Portnoy has a super, just like us. We don't have a checkered past like Dave Portnoy. We are squeaky clean, and we can be acquired by any Disney type of company. Anyone who has a squeaky clean image, you're welcome to work with us. Because one of the issues here is that ESPN wanted no part of Portnoy and no part of Barstool because of their checkered past. And so for ESPN to enter this deal with Penn, that's what kind of forced this whole thing where Portnoy won the business deal by selling for $500 million and getting it back for $1. That's incredible. But the whole idea here is that he was forced to do this because Disney wanted no part of him. And so from the business perspective, it's like Penn wasn't really working with Barstool. Penn has a new opportunity with ESPN. Penn kind of cast Barstool aside by giving the company, giving that deal back to him, basically giving Barstool back. But it's not like a shining moment for his ego. It's a shining moment for his wallet and what he's able to do, which I guess at the end of the day is all that matters. But we know these rich, powerful men, they also care about their ego. So it's a little bit of an ego hit, I think. But to Portnoy?
Really?
Yeah. Because Penn is saying this didn't work for us. This was a failure of a deal by associating ourselves with you.
In a way, who really cares if it was a failure because the stockholders didn't think it was a good brand? He still made a ton of money and got his company back. The thing he sold, he just got back for nothing, which is even... It's just crazy to think about. It's like
it doesn't happen, right? Like this never happens. This isn't a thing. And this happened all because Penn made a deal a couple years ago. It was a bad deal for them in the end. And now they want to partner with Disney and ESPN. And Penn is paying Disney a lot of money here. It's not like Disney's paying Penn. Penn is paying Disney here. It's like $2 billion over a certain amount of time. And so this is a cash infusion for Disney. We've talked a lot about Bob Iger and what is ESPN going to do? Well, this opens Pandora's box in a new way. The ESPN could be a gambling company when all is said and done here.
I was texting you over the weekend or last weekend. We may or may not have a source on the inside. From what I heard from somebody very close, it doesn't look like ESPN's going to sell to Apple or anything like that. It didn't even seem like a partnership was even possible. And I kept grilling the guy, and I just don't know what's going to happen, because what Bob Iger said did not make it sound like Penn International was the strategic partner move that they were hoping for. $2 billion, a lot of money, but I don't think it's the money they were looking for.
We've learned a little bit more about Iger's. We're jumping around a little bit, but I love it. We're Iger's strategic partner. So he's trying to get ESPN out into the direct-to-consumer marketplace, but he can't do it on his own because it'll be so expensive. It'll be a huge risk. So he wants to deleverage it with a strategic partner. It seems like he's approached a lot of the leagues about this, but the leagues and some of the new reporting that's come out more recently, it turns out that Iger is telling the leagues, you can be our strategic partner, but we're not going to pay you a rights fee anymore. And that's how the leagues are making all their money. It's not from the ticket sales, as crazy expensive as everything is. It's these TV contracts that are fueling the NFL, fueling NBA, fueling Major League Baseball. Without them, I think they're nothing. And so the idea that they might strategic partner, Mike, are you having a hot flash over there on the east side of LA? What's going on here?
My camera's off, but my audio's still here. So just keep going. I don't know.
I'll keep going. Mike just had your iPhone gets too hot and it has a heat warning. Mike's camera just did that.
Did it really just say that?
7 minutes into our live podcast?
I might have to switch it over.
We're rolling with it. It's okay. I just think it's fascinating. I think the leagues are out, is what I'm saying, as a strategic partner, because really Iger's just looking for ways to help with cash. So who's it going to be? I still have a feeling it's going to be Apple. You're back on video now.
I'm back.
I think Apple's going to be super involved. And one thing to look out for is Bob Iger's CNBC interview when he talked about the cable linear network, saying that they're no longer growing. He doesn't see a need for them at Disney. If he begins to sell those off, I think the Apple rumors pick up steam, because what is one thing that Disney has that Apple doesn't want? Linear cable networks.
Yeah, Apple I don't think ABC is what they're going to sell off, but it does seem like ESPN could go somewhere that could help them strategically, but I don't know who that would be. It's definitely not Amazon. It's not Hulu. I mean, they own Hulu. So it's like, where do they go? They have to go somewhere that's an established platform, or does ESPN Plus become a broadcast network? Like, are they trying to get out of the app game? Because in a way, do they just combine it with Disney Plus? Do they make it all into Hulu? It already is in Hulu. Like, if you have Hulu and ESPN Plus, it's all inside of Hulu. You don't have
question about Hulu, because I don't watch much of Hulu. I know they have like one hit show, Only Murders in the Building. How is Hulu $17.99 a month right now? What is on there that makes it worth?
I'm not paying $17. I don't know what $17 is.
That's their new price hike. So Disney Plus is hiking, Hulu's hiking. Hulu without ads is now $17.99 unbundled, without anything else like ESPN or Disney. I couldn't believe it.
But if you get it with Disney, I feel like it's a deal. Like, I thought it was paying $17 for both.
If you watch that content, right? If you like
Disney, there's nothing on Disney. I go there. I'm like, what's on Disney?
It's for kids, right?
I don't know. Well, there's some, Secret Invasion, stuff like that. There's stuff there. All right, so Dave and Barstool.
So Portnoy's up, Iger's down. That's our flash so far. Hulu's down, ESPN's up, and we'll see what happens.
I don't know if ESPN's up. ESPN Bet is up. I don't know if.
But
ESPN
don't you love
itself.
it, Mike? Mike, you are a betting guy. You are bringing betting content to the mainstream. You should love this move because so often you're fighting for equal rights for betting, right? We have it on the ballot in California. It still fails, so it's like it's not 100% thing yet. Right here, this is an opportunity for ESPN to make it more mainstream in a way that others can't. And so it should be a win for you.
Well, it's a win, but still it's not something that, like, in California, it's always a loss for us. We're not able to use any of these sports books. We have to do illegal gambling. We have to do
There will be no
stuff.
ESPN Bet physical location in California.
No, which would be great. But this leads me into our super contest. We're running a super contest. Go to supercontest.co, sign up, play the game. We're doing it all season long. You can win money. It will be fun. It's not gambling. It's a sports league. So
it's super simple. You pick 5 games a week against the spread, and then you hope to win money. And maybe you won't. But it'll be fun.
We hope.
There's so many payouts. Mike is paying people out like every couple of weeks in this game.
Yeah, even if you're a loser, you can still win, and that's the great thing about it. That's what you need. If you want everybody to win, that's the whole point. Everybody.
You told me of a few people signing up already. We won't name names, but I just have a feeling that they might be going toward the loser route instead of trying to win it all. Just a few people you name.
We can even gamble on the side and bet on people who are going to lose this thing, because I think there's going to be a lot of people.
I think me and you might need that because you've been talking a lot of shit on the pod over the years. You're the expert. You're the expert gambler here. But I've been making picks on the side. I've never always publicized them. Sometimes I give them to you on the show. But this is a real barometer, me against you.
This is going to be real. What do you think your percentage will be? Do you think you'll be picking at a 50% mark? Are you going to be at 51%? What do you think you're going to be at?
Don't lowball me like that. I'm shooting for 55 to 60%. And you might laugh at that.
60%.
55 to 60% is what I'm going for this year. I'm going for 2 to 3 picks correct every week. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good luck. We'll see how that happens.
I had some 4-1 weeks last year, Mike. I know you did too, but
so did I. Yeah. Sometimes you go 0-5, sometimes you go 5-0. You just never know the weeks.
Give the people the website one more time.
Supercontest.co. You can also go to thesportshangover.com. It's right there on the homepage. Do you want to? I have like a game. If you want to play a game real quick, do you want?
Let's play
a little football game. All right. So there was some football over the weekend. Didn't watch any of the preseason. Heard a lot about it. Watched some clips of it. I just want to play a game. And I just want to go over some guys that I did not know relocated to a new team, and I want to see if you can guess where they are.
Fun. Let's play.
So I'm gonna start out easy, and then it might get a little harder. Where's Derek Carr these days?
He's on the Saints. A lot of people are bullish on the Saints. Mutual friend has a big bet on the Saints this year.
I'm trying to see where is my. I swear I had a sound effect that. No, that's. Oh,
we'll take it. We'll take it.
Little applause. All right, where is Jacoby Brissett?
Jacoby Brissett is a backup quarterback on the Washington Commanders.
Wow, you're good. Okay.
Jacoby Brissett went to my rival high school, so I do follow his career.
Okay. I haven't studied for fantasy at all, so this is like me studying for fantasy.
Let me ask you a question based off that. Who is Jacoby backing up? Who's the starter for the Commanders?
No, I have no idea.
Ron Rivera is trotting out a guy named Sam Howell to be their starting quarterback this year.
Great. Washington just does crazy stuff. Can't they just settle on? What was our guy last year? He was great.
Well, we have a scandal city as we're talking about Washington. We'll get back to the game in a second. But Ron Rivera threw Eric Bieniemy under the bus. Bieniemy's been the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs for a long time. Never got the head coaching job because they say he's under Andy Reid's wing. So now he left Andy Reid to go prove he can be a good offensive coordinator, then get a head coaching job. And Ron Rivera, before their first preseason game, said all the players don't like Eric Bieniemy. They don't like working for him. He's pushing everyone too hard. We really got to figure it out. And so Ron Rivera threw him under the bus right away before they ever play the game.
All right, where's Jimmy G these days?
Jimmy G is on the Raiders, but I'm not sure he's going to be there through the whole year. I feel like they might bail on that $40 million contract real quick.
All right, this one surprised me. Where's Miles Sanders?
I actually know this one. I guess I follow the league pretty closely, but he's the running back for Bryce Young in Carolina. So we'll see if Bryce Young can take hits. He took a big hit this weekend. He's just a little fella, and it looked really bad. So we'll see how that goes.
What I liked about him, he looked pretty good. Like he stayed still and still got hit. And I felt like that's a good quality. Sometimes you see these young quarterbacks that get scared, they run. He just took it. I kind of like that a little bit. He's a small guy too.
We'll see. He's really small. That's really like a problem, I think, but we'll see.
Where's Rashad Penny?
Man, I guess I follow the league closely.
You really know this?
I do. He's on the Eagles. He's on the Eagles. I'm sorry, Mike. There's always been one football expert on the show, and you're asking him questions.
All right, what about Zeke?
This is breaking news.
Breaking news.
You can't stump me. You can't stump me. I'm actually mad about this. I'm working on a trade for Ramondre Stevenson, if that's how you say his first name. But now Elliott is there, and Elliott seems to be a goal line guy. He's had a lot of touchdowns with the Cowboys over his career, so I'm worried. Fantasy alert: Stevenson could be siphoned by Elliott touchdowns, but he should miss some time with injury. Soft tissue doesn't do well.
Zeke was pretty bad last year. He's pretty bad.
Pollard took over.
I mean, you know where Hopkins is. I feel like that was big news. What about Juju?
Come
on. You know.
Is he on the Ravens? He's on the Ravens. They overpaid him, right?
He's on the Patriots.
Oh, Juju's on the Patriots. You got me.
Okay, I got you on one. What about Adam Thielen?
He's with Miles Sanders. For some reason, the old guys in Carolina, they're getting together.
A lot of old guys in Carolina.
Why is Adam Thielen going from Minnesota with a good quarterback, Kirk Cousins, to Carolina? I don't think that's going to go well in that offense right away. I don't like that move for Adam Thielen.
I don't like it either.
I got a couple fantasy trends for you based on watching some football this weekend. Just want to get your thoughts on this. Fantasy trend number 1.
Yeah.
Despite your league format, if the running back doesn't catch passes, he's dead. He's dead to me. What do you think?
Wait, but if you're not a PPR league, does it really matter? Like, is it really going to boost him up that much more? Is he dead if he does not catch balls? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no.
There's certain running backs. I'm thinking of one named Nick Chubb who just refuses. He's like, he can't catch a cold. He can't catch a ball. Derrick Henry. I don't want these guys in 2023. The Zoom meeting was a great indicator that they see it coming before it happens. We were in Cabo. They were on Zoom. The tide has turned, Mike. It's all turned. Really we were having a better weekend than all the NFL running backs.
So you putting your foot down and not drafting any of the guys that were on the Zoom meeting?
Wow. Jonathan Taylor, Najee Harris. Yeah, I'm putting my foot down. Derrick Henry and
the Zoom boys.
And Nick Chubb. Those are the 4 I'm not touching because they don't catch passes.
I thought Barkley was on there.
Add 5. I'm not touching them.
Good.
All
right. Done. Okay.
That's one of my trends
Zoom boys
of the early part of the season. And then the other thing, I have a little quiz for you because you just quizzed me. Get a piece of the best offenses in the league. So I've identified 5 offenses that you need to come out of drafts with. And I'm not talking to you because we're in a league together and I'm not trying to help you. I'm talking to other people.
I'm not going to listen to you anyways. We already know that.
We've established that.
Yeah.
I want you to name some of the best offenses and see if these are in my top 5 to get a piece.
Okay.
So name an offense.
Obviously, Kansas City.
Stop right there. You got to own either Mahomes or Kelsey. You have to. I know the receivers are no names. I know the running backs are no names. If you're not going to own Mahomes or Kelsey and you're going to watch the Chiefs light up every week, it's like, what do you do?
But even get their running backs. Why not? They might do something too. I have no idea who the running backs are there right now.
I don't know. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he's still there?
He's still there?
Is that in your game? Did he change team? I think no, he's still there. I know he's still there. They must have brought in some competition.
But they had that rookie last year, and I thought they traded him out. They like got rid of him too.
They got rid of the rookie.
They're trying to save some money.
Well, it's always plug and play. They get rid of Tyreek, they get rid of these guys, and it doesn't matter because it's Mahomes and Kelsey and nothing else matters.
Now, you mentioned Tyreek. I don't know if Miami's on your list, but I feel like they have weapons. I just wouldn't put them in the top 5 offenses, but I'm going to throw out Miami.
I actually agree with what you were originally saying. They're not in my top 5. The quarterback's not going to make it. This offense with Mike White for 12 weeks is not a top 5 offense.
Mike White was okay. He was okay.
Preparing for it. It's like a situation. It's like being pessimistic to protect myself. I'm not expecting Tua for more than 6 games. And if that man plays all season and is healthy and they do well, that's over expectations. I'll be so happy because I'm not expecting it. I just can't count.
Another offense.
Yeah.
I was going to say San Francisco.
Great. And the 2 guys I've identified here, McCaffrey and Debo, they're not shockers. Not big Dick Brock as you call him. You love Brick. You love Brock. He's not the guy.
He's my quarterback this year, so don't draft him, okay?
Well, he'll be Mr. Irrelevant. You should take him last because he'll be available just like the NFL.
I drafted Aaron Rodgers last in the league last year, and I feel like I could just get him again. He might be good.
But he wasn't good last year, and now he's a year older, just FYI.
It's a little colder.
Well, let's talk about Hard Knocks after this. I have some thoughts. A few more offenses. So definitely Debo was down last year. I think he'll bounce back up. A couple more. What's another offense we should have a piece of? What do you think?
I mean, I guess Philly, even though I'm not excited about Philly, it's got to be Philly.
I love it. And you know what? There's a running back conundrum. As you said, Rashad Penny is there. DeAndre Swift is there. We don't really know. So stay away from running back. Two guys I would love to have, Devontae Smith or A.J. Brown. You would love it. They go off randomly. They're consistent.
But are they consistent, though? I feel like they're big. They're like big targets. Like 1 week you'll get 40 points, and then 1 week you'll get 6. That's
in a PPR, their floor should be 7 to 9 points. So I think that's okay. But they pop over 20, which is
there
great.
Another team we're thinking of here?
I have two more I'm thinking of. One plays in LA, and it's not the Rams.
Oh, the Chargers.
Yeah, I like the Chargers. You know, Herbert's going to bounce back. I saw an interview with him this weekend, and it turns out that he was hurt for a lot last year. He had to change his mechanics, he said, on the deep ball, so he wasn't completing any deep passes. He's healthy now. Look out for Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. You don't like it?
I don't like it. I don't really trust the team. Like, we saw that 1 year, maybe 2 years ago, when they were coming up. He was a rookie. We're like, oh man, he's coming in. Because what the medical guy there's like stabbing everybody in their lungs, taking them out.
His backup Tyrod Taylor got stabbed in the lungs after he started week 1. They had to put Herbert in.
But I thought that season was like the season, like, okay, he's really coming up. But it seemed like he plateaued at the end of the season and just kind of kept cruising. It didn't seem like there's any jumps. So we'll see. I'm not excited.
You're exactly right. I thought the same thing, but he talked about this injury, and apparently he couldn't throw over the top the last 6 weeks of the year, and he had to throw like sidearm. So it changed everything, and he could throw short, but he couldn't throw over 30 yards. Anyway, give him a chance. My last one is
Buffalo.
Not Buffalo.
Not Buffalo.
We are not Josh Allen people, Mike.
Oh, okay. All right. Where are we going? What other team is out there?
Who on Buffalo are you trying to own? Like Stephon Diggs is old. Who's their running back?
I feel like Josh Allen throws so much that it's just like you're getting fed out there. If you're in a PPR, why not take one of the guys that are out there receiving the balls, right? Like they're getting stuff.
Stephon Diggs has to like come down at some point. Gabe Davis was super disappointing. And then like who else is there? I don't know who's getting the ball there. I think it's a Josh Allen. He's the quarterback. He's the running back. He's everything.
Didn't they go through? Aren't there like 3 running backs that are injured right now, and they're on their 4th one, and they just picked up somebody else? I thought they went through a lot of guys.
I don't know who they are, but
I don't know either.
Is LaShawn McCoy back on the Bills? I don't know. My last one is the Bengals. I'm a Joe Burrow guy. I'm not a Josh Allen guy, as we just went over. Burrow, he's recovering. Maybe he plays week 1, maybe week 3. Both receivers, Chase and Higgins. I love that offense. It's prolific. I'm telling you, get a piece of these offenses in fantasy or you're going to regret it.
Okay. That's good. Because I'm
not you, other people.
Yeah. I'm drafting my guy in Seattle. I'm drafting a new guy. I don't know how to say his last name, but
well, you be careful saying that name.
Yeah.
Jackson Smith Jigba. Yeah, be careful.
Yeah. We're drafting.
He had a good preseason start, but how do you reconcile that? Because DK is still there. So does DK come down for the rookie?
Well, it's weird because there's like Tyler Lockett too, and he's always really consistent. So I don't know how he fits in there, but Gino's just slinging the ball around. Most passing yards ever in a Seahawks history, right? It's the best quarterback.
Can't say that, huh? Oh man, we didn't name the Broncos in our little.
No, but do you want me to talk about the Broncos for a minute?
Yeah.
We heard the theory last week when I mentioned like it's going to be the worst. Then we actually saw Russ play. It's not going to be good. Russ is not going to be good. They're trying to get rid of him. They're trying to hurt him. They want whoever the backup is to come in there and play. Broncos, bet the under, bet everything you have against them this year.
I think Sean Payton brought in a quarterback in the offseason to like be the backup. So let me see if this is correct.
All right,
Broncos backup QB. Let's see who this is here. Because he brought in someone to back up Russell Wilson, and it seemed like he really wanted this guy to play.
So
it's Jared Stidham. He paid him. He paid Jared Stidham.
Jared Stidham is what's it called? Patriots guy. He was in the Patriots, right? Didn't Belichick almost like start him last year because he loved them so much? Or was that was that the Raiders?
This was a Raiders guy who came in.
Yeah.
This guy came in and was good, right?
Yeah,
when Carr was done, and it's like, wait, maybe this is the guy.
Yeah.
And then Sean Payton paid him. So I think you're right. I think you're onto something. Love the conspiracy. Sean Payton wants Russell to get injured. He'll be out, and then he brings in his own guy, Stidham, and maybe he wins with him. And then he's like, let me do my own thing. Let's get Russ out of here. Let's proceed with Stidham.
We've seen this before, but Russ is about to have another baby with Sierra. That baby's about to pop, and we know when you have a baby in a season, it's not good for you. Bad seasons.
How do we know?
We know this. I think if you look back with all the good quarterbacks that ever had their babies during season, I think that was a bad season that year.
Wait, Ryan Fitzpatrick has like 11 kids, and he had some nice seasons, Mike.
I wouldn't put him in like an elite tier of quarterbacks. I would say if you're a good quarterback, like let's say top 10. Was Ryan Fitzpatrick?
Wait a second. Phillip Rivers? Come on.
Phillip Rivers did have a lot, but he was never that good. There were a lot of ups and downs for him.
He was pretty good. He just didn't win playoff games.
Indy when he had like his 12th child?
Did you hear this story that the Niners, if they somehow beat the Eagles in that NFC Championship game on your birthday at your house that we were watching, that they were going to sign Phillip Rivers for the Super Bowl?
I saw. Yeah. This is breaking news. Dalvin Cook signing 1 year with
not the Jets.
The Jets. It's gonna be a good team.
Wow, the running backs are coming off the board today. Wait a second. Dalvin Cook had that visit there like weeks ago.
Yeah, and then didn't he go to Miami too?
Yeah. Well, we were lowballing him. We know he's got nothing left in that tank. He's gotten hit a lot.
So the Jets are just like, they're going all in. They're like, whatever we can get for Aaron Rodgers, we're going to get from him, and we're going to spend the money.
Dalvin Cook seems like the Randall Cobb of running back, so I think it works to put him on the Jets. Let's segue there. Can we segue? Did you watch the first episode of Hard Knocks?
I watched the first episode? Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Can you hit J-Dog Takes On for me?
Oh, man. Okay.
J-Dog Takes On.
Is this sponsored by Ryu Resorts, or are we not going that far yet?
They're paying us. You can go that far.
They're not paying, but we're looking for a deal. It's a great time. Ryu Resorts in Cabo. All right, J-Dog Takes On this week. I watched episode 1 of Hard Knocks, and I hated it. I actually hated it. It was the Aaron Rodgers show.
It was.
It was just slurping on him so much. Like, he's the greatest guy in the world. Like, we all forget what happened less than a year ago as he's misleading us about his little vaccine bullshit comments, as he's being a terrible teammate to the Green Bay Packers, as he's running himself out of town in Green Bay, holding them hostage. Trade me, don't. Cap money, don't. This whole thing, he's holding them hostage. And now you turn on Max streaming service or HBO, places you go for quality content. You trust the content bar. And now all of a sudden you can't trust it because they put music under Aaron Rodgers flinging passes. Mike, you couldn't even see where a pass went. They didn't even show the ball follow because he's probably not completing most of the passes. They're just putting music under him, watching him sling, watch his cute little footwork. Does he mentor Zach Wilson, or does he make fun of Zach Wilson the entire time? I can't really tell.
I will say, personality-wise, really loving Rodgers in this show. Really love it. Really made it like a 180 for me, because before I was like, Rodgers kind of. Now I'm back. I'm back on the Rodgers train, coaching Wilson up. I don't know if they love or hate each other. I love the vibes between all the players. Everybody basically idolizes Rodgers, and that's his vibe going into the Jets. It's like it's anything. It's everything he's ever wanted. He's wanted everybody to just love him that much. Everybody in the building is like, yeah, we got Aaron Rodgers. As the head coach, even I'm learning something. It's like, oh, come on.
They all love him so much. It is like a godlike complex. So what's going to happen in week 3 when that man goes down? Because his offensive line, as I've been telling you every show all summer, shaky as shit. He doesn't have an O-line. It's the worst O-line he's ever played. This was a headline on ESPN today. Worst O-line he's ever played behind is this year at his age. It's not going to go well. And now they're all propping him up to be godlike. He's going to get hurt. And then Zach Wilson's going to come back. And Zach Wilson is not doing well. We saw some of Zach Wilson in episode 1, and he looked pretty sad, depressed, like he's been through a lot. And I know he has, because he's been banging his teammate's mom in college and all these things. But
it's almost like Zach Wilson didn't really understand football until he got to the NFL. And I don't know how he got drafted to be an NFL football player, but he's there. And he's like, I think if Rodgers stays there for like 3 years, Zach Wilson could be a solid backup quarterback. Like, he'll understand the game well enough.
They took him 2nd overall like 2 years ago.
Listen, Jeremy, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that make mistakes. Trey Lance, I think San Francisco might just release Trey Lance for how bad he is.
Isn't he zipping the ball in training camp? If Hard Knocks was on the Niners, they'd be putting Trey Lance music and just watching him zip.
Trey Lance is terrible. I think they even brought in another backup. It's like Brock, Trey, and somebody else.
Well, they like Sam Darnold, but also there's a rule this year, the 49ers rule. You have to have 3 quarterbacks on your team this year.
Why?
Because remember that NFC Championship game we just mentioned, they ran out. And so all teams will have 3 quarterbacks on the 53 this year.
Oh, really?
You'll dress 3. You'll dress 3. You're allowed to dress a 3rd quarterback, and it doesn't count against your number or something.
Oh, interesting.
It's like a Niners rule. Yeah. So anyway, 3 quarterbacks are acceptable.
Okay. Well, I think Trey's gone. Trey's done. That's another high draft pick.
The idea that Zach Wilson's ceiling is now really good backup after he was picked 2nd overall only 2 years ago. He's still so young. The idea that that's his ceiling, I love it, obviously. I hated the first episode. I don't trust HBO anymore. I don't trust NFL Films anymore. I just need this cleaned up. I need to make this a real Hard Knocks because so far it's not authentic.
They've done the show for let's say they've done the show for 15 years. They've never once brought the guy that does the voiceover, which I forgot his name. Good actor.
Liev Schreiber, yeah. In a helicopter.
They brought him to the Jets training camp to hang out as the voice because everybody wanted to meet him. There's no content anymore. It's really frustrating. I do need some.
It's
more
kind of
content.
awkward, right? It's kind of awkward with him there.
What are you supposed to say? It's like, hey, dude, you do the voiceover, great voice. Like,
it's like they had nothing of substance to talk about. It's like, at one point, he said, "Why aren't people doing the show?" I was surprised they kept that line in. Why aren't more teams doing the show?
No one wants to do it.
And then Roger said, "There's misnomers." Didn't really explain it.
What about
hate the show? Hate the Jets' chances. I'll keep telling you that every week.
Okay, good. I think that's it. I mean, the only other thing I wanted to talk about was Messi coming to the U.S. and playing soccer. I don't know if we even care, but it seems like Apple TV cares and everybody else in Miami cares, but I don't know if we actually care about it. Is it going to make you watch soccer?
No, I thought it was cool Messi was shopping at Publix, and he wasn't really getting recognized at first in Publix, which is a sign of his fame in Miami versus the rest of the world. No, I was getting the Women's World Cup. The U.S. women did not do well. They did not make it very far. Super disappointing. So that kind of shut me out of soccer. So we'll see if I can come back to it now.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not into soccer. Still hasn't got me. But
I had one more Scandal City we can share on the way out.
Let's go.
That movie, The Blind Side, was a famous story. We were all told all about it. The offensive tackle adopted by the white parents, saved and brought forward. It turns out Michael Orr, the subject of The Blind Side, the actual left tackle, is suing those two quote unquote parents, saying they never actually adopted him, never signed the paperwork, and became conservators of his estate and are now taking money from him, from his career.
Oh my God.
And they never actually adopted him as parents. And they made this whole movie, The Blind Side, this amazing story, and it's all fucked now.
They never adopted him?
They never adopted him.
How does that work? You just have like a child in your house that you don't adopt. It's like, oh yeah, we'll just take.
No one vetted this with the movie. They made a whole movie.
No one vetted anything. They made a whole movie.
Years process.
Didn't they make like documentaries about it too?
Yeah, Michael Orr. He was a good left tackle for a minute.
Well, that sucks.
That's a sad one to end on.
Go to supercontest.co. Go sign up. Go gamble with us. Kicks off whatever the first Thursday is. Whatever that Thursday is, the September 6th, you need to be
first week of September. Yeah. You should probably sign up by September 1st. That should be your deadline.
September 1st would be a good goal. It's gonna be fun. I'm excited. I'm hosting Kickoff Sunday, so you should come over.
I might go see two of the one game he's healthy this year.
Are you going?
Undecided.
Undecided. Don't go to that game.
Undecided.
Let's go to a Thursday night game. Nice
in
afternoon.
LA?
Yeah, in LA. Let's just pick a random Thursday game.
Tua won't be there.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay. Week 1 is special. I agree. Like week 1 is like sensory overload. You're so excited. It's like Christmas morning. Because like by week 17, it's like, all right, I got to do red zone again. You got to go through the motions again. But like week 1, everyone's so excited.
Yeah, you're very excited. So, all right. Well, hopefully you join. Hopefully you make it. All right. Good show. Check out thesportsangover.com. See ya.